Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to A Better World with Adrienne. I am so excited to drop in with you for today's episode. This is the second episode in a four-part series where I am breaking down the four quadrants of New Earth Elite. Okay. New Earth Elite is the fleet of souls that I am stewarding. This is the 1% of the 1%. This is the movement that we are living, building, breathing, architecting as we birth a better world together. And I'm doing this series to really drop in on each of the four quadrants, what it means, what the quotient is for each one, how they connect to one of the elementals here on our planet, and what this all means for you as you step forward in your soul assignment, in your mission, in building your company, in creating all of the dreams sown in your heart. Because, like I say in the intro, every single dream and desire that you have in your heart not only is destined for you, it is a key part of your contribution to a better world, to a world we're proud of. So that is today's episode. I am so excited to drop in with you about this, about quadrant two, which is wealth and the water elemental. I literally I'm obsessed with this series. I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that you pressed play and to have you here as this web and network of souls from all around the globe keeps growing and expanding. It is a gift that I get to share these transmissions. Before I go fully into today's topic, I am enrolling new one-on-one clients into New Earth Elite, into one-on-one Lux. This is concierge, bespoke, custom mentorship, coaching, astrology, breathwork, nervous system reset, healing, knowledge, skill, getting you in the training room to make everything you receive, all of the transmissions on this podcast, times a million applied to your life, your unique blueprint, your soul mission, your challenges, your celebrations, locking arms with me one on one. If you are interested in working with me one on one, go to the link in the show notes and apply. This episode is dropping in June 2026. At the time of this recording, I am enrolling new one on one clients. If you are listening to this in the future and you are interested in working with me one on one, I may or may not have openings. So just apply. My team will be in touch if we're a fit and we'll rock and roll and begin if the space is correct for you. The other thing I want to share is that I have two spots open for VIP days in France in July 2026. You can choose between Paris, south of France, or both. I There is nothing greater, first of all, than getting in person to transform. And there's nothing better to pattern interrupt than getting on a plane, going to an amazing sacred place, and being in a space that can hold you in the potency of both your spirituality and your ambition, aka the spaces I hold in these VIP days, and really doing it with a trip. Like, and maybe you're Parisian, I don't know, but if you're Parisian, we're definitely going to south of France because, or if you're from the south of France, we're definitely going to Paris or potentially somewhere else in Europe because nothing replaces in person and the pattern interrupt that happens when you change your location. And when you make it like a not just a trip, it's not a vacation, it's literally a soul pilgrimage. It's like I'm investing in myself, I'm going on this adventure by way of play and joy. The pattern interrupt, the sudden trajectory shift, the identity shift is palpable, it's visceral, it's unmatched. So if you are one of these amazing elite souls and you are excited to hop on a plane and meet me in France in July for a day of complete total life trajectory shift. Apply through the link in the show notes. I'm literally so excited. I cannot wait to see who claims these and the one of a kind creations I get to curate for you because no VIP day, no dream day is the same. Just like no soul is the same. So if this speaks to you, if you're like, holy shit, this is for me, apply through the link in the show notes and I will be in touch. Okay, let's take one big deep breath together, connecting our minds, bodies, souls, spirits, remembering that this podcast is a transmission. It is a portal. It is not like other podcasts. Don't you dare let this podcast be entertainment. What's the difference between entertainment and education? Behavior change. Most people will listen to, even if you feel pulled to this podcast, if you're listening, you are destined for great things. You are not like most people. You are not like most successful people. You are the 1% that is being called to become the 1% of the 1%. And even in this micro network climate soul pad, most of you will listen to this episode and never implement. The difference between entertainment and education is behavior change. Nothing matters except behavior change. And that's what makes our space, A Better World with Adrian, New Earth Elite, what makes it different is that it is high performance as a direct, reverent embodiment and choice for life that is a reflection of the ancient codes. So if you listen to this episode and you never implement anything through behavior change, you had entertainment. You used it for entertainment. If you listen to this, you allow it to shake you and wake you from the core of your soul, and then you implement behavior change. Well, okay, then you actually use it as a resource, right? And so even thinking about the topic of today, wealth and water elemental, if you think about this podcast, this is wealth. This is overflow. I don't need to be doing this. I don't get paid to do, like, will I monetize the podcast perhaps someday? Yes. Is it monetized now? No. Is this how my soulmate clients I'm here to serve find me? Yes. Through word of mouth and through the podcast. In fact, everybody who finds me through word of mouth either just applies to work with me right away or they get sent to my podcast, and based on the podcast, then they apply to work with me. This is overflow. And so even the way that you receive the podcast tells me a lot about your wealth frequency. Tells me because wealth is just your ability to receive excess. Excess is holy. Profit is holy. We're going to get into all of that. Let's take a deep breath together. Exhale completely. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Okay, we are fully dropped in. We are here in this portal. We are connected. This is the beauty of technology. This is the beauty of the age of Aquarius, that we do not need to be in the same physical location to connect. Wealth is the second quadrant of New Earth Elite, simply because this is one of the most important make or breaks for you in self-actualization, for you in stewarding your soul mission. And it also has chronically and historically been a missing piece in specifically the spiritual space. Many people come to me from one of two lanes, right? You either come to me from an extreme high performance background, which means you are wildly successful. A lot of you are very successful in business when you come to me. And it actually is harder for successful people to access spirituality because you're such powerful creators, you don't rely on the creator because you've already created what most people will never create just with your limited human faculties. So the stretch for you is leaning into the provision of creator. It's like, I don't give a fuck what your cash flow, what your revenue is. If you haven't accessed a deep unconditional relationship with the creator, you have not tapped 1 ounce, 1 iota of your potential in this lifetime. I don't care if it's millions, billions. We just saw Elon Musk hit trillionaire. The beauty of Elon Musk, first of all, if you're not able to look at Elon Musk as a pinnacle of inventor, of being one of the great inventors of our time from a neutral lens, then you and I have a lot of work to do inside New Earth Elite, specifically with your nervous system. All right. Elon Musk has shown the limit does not exist. Okay. And so I can tell you right now, Elon Musk hasn't even scratched 1 ounce of his potential yet. He is tapped into the limitless power of the creator. He is tapped into the mechanics of the universe. He is tapped into wealth. Like, wealth means the limit does not exist. It is overflow. It is excess. Okay. And so people come into my world, into this work through either this really high performance lens or extremely spiritual lens where you've relied on creator, but a lot of people in the spiritual space have taken oaths of poverty. They believe money is the root of all evil. This was personally my experience. I actually never was told money is the root of all evil. I grew up in an upper middle class family in the Midwest in the United States. My parents definitely did a lot better financially than most of the people I grew up around. However, in terms of, you know, the grand scheme of wealth, they're not like in any kind of high tax bracket unless they're sitting on a bunch of shit I don't know about, which they could be. Um, what I experienced in my personal journey was I was raised by artists and teachers. And there's this whole starving artist paradigm where it's like you got to choose between being an artist and making money. It's like either you sell your soul to have a lot of money or you can make art. And my life and this movement flies in the face of all of that because I'm like, actually, literally, the only way you can be insanely abundant in physical cash, which a lot of spiritual people talk about abundance, but they're talking about everything besides money. And the minute you bring up money, they're triggered as fuck. And it's like, oh my gosh, the amount of people I viscerally trigger on this topic, and I did it in the music space, I did it in the spiritual space because I just refuse the programming of lack. And I'm a cycle breaker. And if you're listening to this episode, you're here to break the cycles too. And let me tell you what, the cycles and the programming around money and wealth and lack consciousness and poverty consciousness, which is manufactured, because even when you look at Mother Earth is abundant. You look at the stars, it's abundant, right? If you want a lesson in limitless abundance and regeneration and how you're always provided for, go to nature. Don't go to humans. There's a lot of dark force agendas convincing people that that there's limited resource, that there's limited money. It's scarcity. Scarcity is the lie that there is not enough to go around, and it causes people to go into extreme fear, and then people are terrified and they do terrible things based from fear that hurt one another, and then it's this horrible thing. It's this horrible tornado of awfulness, right? And so a lot of people in the spiritual space. And to be quite honest, the reason why we have not birthed heaven on earth yet is because the spiritual space has chronically rejected profit, has chronically rejected wealth, has chronically rejected money. It's like, oh, you can have enough money, but not too much. Don't have too much because holy shit, that's going to make you a bad person. And I'm being a little bit playful, facetious. Like, it's if we can stay in this like playful energy, it's really not that big of a deal. It's not personal. It's people's nervous systems. And the reason why wealth is so it's usually two frequencies people land in my space, and no matter how much work you've done, you have one root level that you came from. And by the way, I want to be very transparent that some of the people that I know with the most scarcity are extremely wealthy because scarcity shows up on whatever level you're at. And also this broke healer consciousness shows up no matter where you're at in terms of money and wealth. I've had conversations with some of my wealthiest clients where they're like, "Oh, your work's not available for everyone." I'm like, "I know. First of all, it's elite. It's creme de la creme. This is the Dior of high performance and spiritual mastery." And there's this like unwritten programming that people doing spiritual work have got to do it for charity, that they can't be well paid. And it's like, that is fucking bullshit. That's not New Earth. The highest paid people get to be the oracles, get to be the healers, get to be the artists. You know, it's the thing is, and people get confused by me in this work a lot because it doesn't fit in a box. This is not the best. This is the only. This is category of one. And so at the beginning of this episode, I really want you to identify what what side do you fall in more? Like, are you someone who's like extremely elite in high performance and you're like, yeah, I make a lot of money literally no matter what I do because I'm like an expert manifester in this space. I'm already well on my way in terms of the wealth I want to build. And I have challenge releasing my grip on that and trusting the creator to bring exponentially more than that, right? Or do you fall in the category of like you're extremely spiritual and you've had visceral rejection of overflow of money and wealth, which, by the way, income is not wealth. So, first identify where you fall, and then I'm really just going to channel codes on wealth. Like, this has been one of my greatest portals for transformation of this lifetime because I was born into a high performing artist family. So first I shattered the belief that, oh, because you're an artist, you got to be poor. And my first company, Mindful Music, shattered that. Triggered the fuck out of all my colleagues in classical music, whatever. That's the name of the game. I am a living, breathing interruption. I don't believe in limits. That's why when you become my client, you 10x, 20x, 100x all your results because I just don't believe in limits. I literally, circumstances do not matter. Anything is possible when you have this high performance skill set and you are tapped in right relationship with creator and the ancient codes. Literally, the limit does not exist. Okay, and then when I started doing spiritual work, I entered this whole other arena where it's like, oh, because I help people and I'm a good person, I don't charge. And it's like, that's pimping yourself out. That's extracting your own life force. No, 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 no. So I worked through that. I shattered that. By the way, none of this was shattered through my brain. First, mindset can be very helpful. Getting around people who have already done it, getting in rooms. I have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars getting in rooms just to be in good energy because energy is contagious. Energy is more contagious than COVID-19. I will happily invest any kind of premium amount to be in the correct energy, to get where I want to go faster. And specifically, this has helped me with money and wealth, and it continues to do that. None of this happened through my mind. It started through my mind, but it all happened through my body. Why? Because money is tied to your root chakra. The first two quadrants of New Earth Elite. The quadrants of New Earth Elite, by the way, are healthy, wealthy, happy, and free. Healthy, wealthy, happy, and free, stewarding our missions of divinity. That is what we do. That is this fleet of advanced souls. Healthy and wealthy is very tied to your root chakra. It's very tied to the lower three chakras, which are root, sacral, and solar plexus, which is your ability to feel safe. It is your creative power, your creativity, and your power. You cannot access that. Like the reason why money healing and expansion doesn't happen through the mind is because it's tied to your root chakra, your ability to feel safe. You have ancestral patterns there stored in your root chakra. Because think about it, we use money to buy money or to buy money. I mean, you can use money to buy money. It's a whole thing. To buy food, to buy shelter. It's our basic human needs. And so people go into fight or flight about money all the time. Same with health, right? These things are the root chakra. They're the fundamental, they're the foundational. Then we get to happy and free. No one's going to be thinking about their happiness if they're in survival mode. Nobody's going to be thinking about what is their ultimate freedom and expression on this planet and purpose if they're in survival mode. That's why health and wealth come first. You literally have no business serving others if you haven't served yourself first. Why? Because pouring from an empty cup is not just something that people say, it's an illusion. It's not even real. It's extraction. You're pouring dirty medicine into the field. All right. So, overflow, excess, money, resource. Wealth is all about your relationship with being provided for by a force bigger than you. Whether you are someone who grips into success from high performance or you're someone who grips into this idea of being a good person because you're not making profit, it's like all of it's bullshit. You've got to let go, allow yourself to be provided for by the creator in a limitless way as a direct reflection of not only your divinity, your ability to serve. If you are not resourced in overflow, you are not serving. If you are not resourced in overflow, you are not part of New Earth. You are part of the old paradigm of extraction. So none of it happens through the mind because it's all connected to your root chakra and your nervous system, which controls 95% of your decisions. This is why I said affirmations about money for literally 5 years when I was a broke artist, classical music, orchestral musician, gigging in Chicago, busting my fucking ass to make it on the scene and being paid like $300 for a gig that not only had I gone to conservatory, undergrad, and master's and was in six figures debt to study with these great teachers to be able to play at that level. I was getting paid like 300 bucks to go to like three rehearsals and a concert, which was probably like around I would say 20 hours, not including commuting, which I would many times drive 45 minutes an hour to a gig, and I was told to be grateful for that. That is fucked up. Literally. Literally. It's insane. But this is normalized, right? And my entire family is musicians and they work in higher education. And it's like, you know how much reprogramming I had to do in the cells of my DNA. I said affirmations for 5 years. Nothing worked. Nothing worked until I did breath work consistently. I broke through my own patterns and shame and fear. I broke through any fears I had about being canceled by my family, canceled by my industry. Like, it's not mindset. It happens specifically with money. I've seen it happens through your body. Now, are all of the quadrants accessed through your body because the body controls 95% of your decisions because it's your subconscious mind and your nervous system? Yes. However, the root chakras, the root chakra, the first two quadrants, health and wealth. By the way, if you haven't listened to the health one, go listen to it. It's phenomenal. I don't care where you are right now, your next level demands an elite health up level from you. I'm currently in an elite health up level. Um, it's been wildly confronting to me, and I have a whole team of earth angels help me. I have my acupuncturist, I have my own energy healer. I have someone looking at my blood work. I have a Chinese medicine doctor. Like, I have a whole team working with me, and it's just this is what I want you to understand is that you are not like other people. You are an Olympic athlete for the creator for your soul mission. Olympic athletes have support systems. They don't eat like other people. They don't think like other people. They don't make money like other people. They don't do relationships like other people. It is the 1% of the 1%. There's an identity shift you make before you can ever hire me where it's like, yes, I am this and I claim this and this is what we're doing, right? Same thing with money. But with health and wealth, it really is about the nervous system. It's about your ability to feel safe and be provided for and receive nourishment. And then also your command of your nervous system to feel safe when you are a cycle breaker. Because when you're a cycle breaker, people get activated by you, not because it's personal, but because they don't have command of their own nervous system. And your being free and resourced shows them that there's another thing possible. And if they're short circuiting, if they don't have the consciousness to handle that, they go into a whole thing, right? Not your problem. Your focus is you, eyes on you. So, wealth is all about your ability and skill set to manifest in the physical. I'm not talking about ideas. I'm talking about cash. I'm talking about P&L. I'm talking about profit. I'm talking about real money in the physical. Like, we are meant to be extremely wealthy. I'm not talking about millions. I'm talking about billions, trillions. Now that Elon's done that, that's the new 4 minute mile, baby. We're going to see more trillionaires. Why? Because he showed us it's possible. He's the maverick, though, that says, I don't trust, like, I'm blessed because I believe before there's evidence. And I'm blessed because, like, his wealth consciousness is insane, right? You and I, we've all got to get there and stay there unconditionally. Money is a spirit guide. If you are tapped into money as a spirit guide and an energy, then you will really be in the game of mastery and manifestation, mastery of creation, mastery of birthing realities, pulling ideas out of the 5D and into the 3D. What do you need to build shit in the 3D? Capital, resource. So your objective in like there are two objectives for you in wealth in your mission inside New Earth Elite. In your divine assignment in birthing a better world, first, generational wealth for you and your family, like number one. Again, you have no business. It's actually inappropriate, incorrect, and I say unclean to serve if you're not being served. Fill your cup first, only pour from overflow. End of story, full stop. That's it. The other objective is you're going to have excess resource to bankroll solutions. Bankroll solutions for change for the collective, being able to bankroll, new systems, new structures, what we're going to see the next 10 years specifically. First of all, we're going to see an extreme split. I think I'll do a podcast on this, but there's an extreme split coming. Like, remember in 2020 when everybody got bent out of shape and there was this like us versus them mentality in a lot of different things, right? By the way, we cannot tango with that. Hate is hate, judgment is judgment. We get to transcend, right? It's not about right or wrong. It's about transcending and realizing that all of that is a distraction of dehumanization and dark force agenda. There's going to be a split again, but way, 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 way deeper about if you, and it's based on the choices you're making right now, by the way. If you're going to choose the trajectory of like insane upward spiral, or if you are going to choose the trajectory of accelerated downward spiral, right? Where you're in lack consciousness, where a lot of challenge and pain is versus a lot of prosperity and pleasure. Not saying there won't be challenge on the spiral up, but it's like there's going to be an immense split in terms of the way people experience reality based on the decisions you make right now. And if they're not made with wealth consciousness now, you can be almost 1,000% guaranteed that you're going to be experiencing lack or the reality of lack if you're making choices from lack consciousness now. Remember, lack is the lie that there's not enough. There's always more than enough. The only question is, have you built the vessel to receive the limitless abundance and money and wealth in all forms or not? So, when you're working with money as your spirit guide, money will respond to you if you have mastery, if you have precision. If you don't have mastery and precision, it won't respond to you like that. And it's a skill. This is why in New Earth Elite, you've got to get in the training room. All of this is a skill. If you don't train, just like the gym, it atrophies. By the way, if you're going to keep leveling up and leveling up and leveling up, you've got to get even better, right? So your objectives for wealth are generational wealth for you and your family, obviously, and then bankrolling solutions for our planet. You're not going to do that just being a decamillionaire. Like, it's got to be way more than that. And so you will be hated, you will be judged, you will be misunderstood, specifically about this. You know, I don't know if there's anything quite like this that people are judged and hated for so much. And a lot of that is because when we are resourced, we're not easily manipulated or controlled. So people that live in cages and people that profit off other people's pain, which doesn't create lasting blessings or lasting wealth. There's always chaos with that. When I'm talking about wealth, I'm talking about lasting blessings in peace and love and unconditional bliss and freedom and blessings for every single life you touch, right? People are hated and judged and misunderstood about money because the that is the power of it when it's in the hands of the correct people with good hearts, like everybody here in this space. And you've just got to be okay with it. Anybody successful and amazing is hated. Taylor Swift is hated. Why? Because she's insanely powerful, connected to the light of the creator, right? So you've just got to be okay with it. And something I feel inspired to speak into is like a secret fear that all of my high net worth clients have is a fear that people only want you no matter what part of life, that people are using you for money. whether it's your dating life. It's like a lot of people, and there's spiritual reasons for this, but like not revealing the level of wealth at the beginning of a relationship is actually really important because it just completely takes off the table this like extraction energy of like somebody dating you just for your money. Truly wealthy people don't lead with their net worth because they know that a lot of energy comes with that. Like people coming into your world and it's like, do you actually like me? Do you actually want to be my friend? Or do you just want my money? Do you just want opportunity? Like, do you just like all of that is very, very real. And I have not had one session with a successful founder or high net worth individual that hasn't tapped on that in some way. And it shows up with family a lot. Like, you're already insanely successful. Are you ready to outperform your family and your friends even more because of what your mission is demanding of you? Or are you shrinking right now? Because you really don't care about being canceled by strangers on the internet. You care about being canceled by your family. You care about being canceled by the friend you had for 30 years, right? That's for some reason you've kept around when you have nothing in common except the fact you went to the same high school. Like all of this, it's all baked into this idea of wealth. It's And I want to be very clear, wealth is not income. Wealth is not working. It's very important to understand that New Earth wealth and New Earth elite is about completely unhooking from the paradigm of trading time for money. No more trading time for money. That's the wrong game. That's not wealth. Nobody creates wealth trading time for money. You might. So, for example, me, I'm known for and specialize in premium concierge mentorship, one-on-one mentorship, right? This is deliberately not scalable because I'm one person, right? However, first of all, it's my soul mission. Second of all, I have digital assets that print me money while I'm sleeping. Go to the library on my website. Like you can do master classes with me, you can do programs, all of those things. I have digital assets not tied to my time. However, like the money that I do channel through my work with one-on-one Lux mentorship, I put that money to work for me. So it's creating wealth that's not connected to my time, right? No more trading time for money. That shit is a hard no for New Earth Elite. That's not wealth. That's not wealth. And something that I really want to just drive home before we move on to the water elemental part is that, first of all, excess is holy, profit is holy. Profit is the sign of a healthy business. If you're not profitable, you are sick. And sick people cannot help other people, right? All of this with wealth specifically is extremely important during Chiron and Taurus transit. Chiron, the wounded healer, is moving into Taurus on June 19th of 2026, going to stay there till 2034. So another 8 years of Chiron and Taurus is going, Taurus rules wealth. The collective is going to go through a deep alchemical exposing healing process of what true wealth means, what it looks like. All of our blocks to how much we can receive are going to come up. Like everything with wealth is how much are you willing to receive? How much do you value your time and your energy above actual money? Do you actually make money matter? The people who make money matter are the people where money doesn't matter because you made it matter. I will never forget being in a mastermind and someone in our mastermind actually passed away during childbirth. It was a very, very extreme. And so the brand new baby survived, and the husband and their other kid were surviving. And I will never forget, my mentor wired them six figures. And she didn't do it like nobody on the internet knows about this. She did it in the quiet, in the confines of our mastermind. And it was such a powerful example because she said, everybody here, no more thoughts and prayers. Yes, we send thoughts and prayers. We send financial contribution to support the healing of the collective. And it's like, I remember that so vividly. I'm getting goosebumps, full body chills right now. She made money matter in her life to be resourced in such a way that when something happened in the 3D reality and she wanted to give, she wanted to share, she wanted to make a difference, she wanted to be the embodiment of God source energy and unconditional love and providership on our planet, she was able to do that without blinking an eye. And I said, I'm going to do that. I just looked at that and I was like, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And so that is the frequency of all of this, right? I'm going to take a drink of my water before we talk about the water element. Every single one of these quadrants is linked to one of the four elements on our earthly plane, okay? We have earth, water, wind, and fire. And when I got these four quadrants, I saw them in a vision from Mary Magdalene. I resisted all of this viscerally because I knew, honestly, if I'm being fully transparent, I knew how canceled I would be by most of the spiritual community just for using the word elite, let alone everything else this stands for. However, this is my mission. This is what I've been doing for years at this point. Um, I've been coaching one-on-one high performance for almost 20 years. I had my first one-on-one coaching and students when I was 15. Like it's insane. I love this work. So, wealth is linked to the water elemental. And so, one of the ways you can work with this is where the ancient codes really come in is, and it's specifically linked to Scorpio energy. Wealth is all about nourishment. It's all about hydration, and it's all about waters is about movement, right? Scorpio is the quantum money. There's two money signs in the zodiac. One is Taurus, which is why, Chiron and Taurus is going to be impacting wealth. Taurus money is earth money, though. It's like, it's more about time versus money, and it's more about stacking, 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 like in a savings account, right? Scorpio money is quantum. It's, I have $1,000, I invest it, I make 1 million. Boom. That's Scorpio money. It's quantum. It has nothing to do with time. Time isn't even real. It's a limitless. It's 100x. And it's flow. It's this flow, and it's this Scorpio is fixed water. If the archetype, what you want to think about with Scorpio energy. Scorpio, by the way, is psychic. It's the taboo topics. It is the scorpion. It is very precise. Scorpio rules debt and taxes as well. And Scorpio rules other people's money. It rules investing, and it rules quantum wealth. So, and it's very dark. It's very mysterious, right? Because it's playing with the unseen. You throw things into the void and you have mastery in the unseen, and then it pops back into the 3D grid, 100x in wealth. Hello, this is Scorpio money. This is water money. And so the what you want to think about with Scorpio is a waterfall. A waterfall. It just pours and pours and pours and pours and pours water. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop, it doesn't stop, and it doesn't stop. So imagine yourself swimming under a waterfall. I'm thinking of a specific waterfall on Maui that tourists don't know about, that I had to go with these local guys that like I had to swear like I wouldn't tell anybody where it was. It was so cool. Um, just like swimming up to that waterfall and just letting it pour over my head over and over and over and over. That's what it feels like to receive provision from Creator through the water elemental, abundance, nourishment, and it never stops. It never stops. It never stops. It's the opposite of scarcity consciousness. It's the opposite of poverty consciousness. It's the opposite of lack consciousness. Limitless abundance is available to you every single day, all day, and every single moment. The question is, did you build the vessel in the 3D realm to receive that water abundance? Have you built the consciousness to receive that abundance? Have you done the nervous system work to receive that? Because most of us, every single level is like, how can you allow yourself to receive more without shame? We have so much shame about receiving. People have so much shame. Shame is dehumanizing yourself. So, how this applies to you and your mission. First of all, there's a Scorpio part of your personal chart. There's a Scorpio part of your business's chart. There's a Scorpio part of the chart of your relationship or your marriage. There's a Scorpio part that's being activated in the collective at certain moments and certain times, right? All of this is unlocking the wealth and your access to it at any given time with these energetics to be leveraged. Other water energies are Cancer and um oh my gosh, Pisces. So Cancer is like the shoreline of the ocean. Scorpio is this fixed waterfall, and Pisces is the depths, the deep dark depths of the ocean where, you could see the most amazing like pod of dolphins or Loch Ness monster. It's the unconscious, the subconscious, the hidden. It's connected to the 12th house in the astrology. Now, all water elementals have something important to share for you in terms of flow. Like money and wealth is all about flow. It's not a stagnant lake. It's not a swamp. Like a lot of people, like people who hoard money, for example, it's like you have swamp energy. That shit's disgusting. It's warm. Nobody swims in it. It doesn't move. If you are gripping on to money because you are scared and you don't spend and you don't stay in the flow, you don't get sent more money, right? You can manifest money by spending. You can manifest money by investing. You can manifest money by saving. However, you've got to stay in the flow. The moment you stop the flow stops. And so the biggest archetype to focus on is Scorpio in the zodiac, and then just water elemental, like even drinking more water. Do you allow yourself to be hydrated? Do you allow yourself to be nourished? This is the total shift. Like, think about a desert versus a lush ecosystem, like an extremely lush, healthy ecosystem that is fully nourished. Wealth is about nourishment. Money is just the 3D expression of inner wealth. And money matters. Money matters a lot. Nothing in this realm, nothing in on planet Earth right now happens without money. So we get to make a lot of it. And we get to make it with God source energy in a way that blesses us and every single life we touch and the whole entire collective. And it takes audacity, it takes healing knowledge and skill, it takes training. And the other thing I want to share about wealth is that it is you really claiming and living your spiritual royalty. You are spiritual royalty. You are meant to have the nicest clothes. You are meant to have the nicest things. You are meant to have the nicest home. You are meant to have like like a nanny, a cook, a driver, like whatever your heart desires without limit. You are meant to have as a child of God source energy. The limit does not exist. Do you allow yourself this? Or do you say that's too much? Or that's pretentious? Or I don't need that? It's like, it's not about need. Wealth is not about need. Now, is there a certain frequency of just basic foundational money that you've got to have to cover your basic needs in this life? Absolutely. Wealth is not about that. Wealth conscious is not about that. At a point, it's about self-expression. It's about your energy is the greatest currency. Why would you spend your energy doing the dishes when you can hire someone to do that? Why aren't you adorning yourself in the nicest clothes possible? It's about self-love, it's about self-respect. It's also about I am a vessel for the light of the creator. I am spiritual royalty. I am here to be extremely, extremely audaciously wealthy. All of the great sages were dressed in the finest linens. They wore crowns. Like, this is why I do adorn days with my one on one clients where I take you shopping to activate your new identity through the way you adorn your temple at your favorite luxury stores. Because this shit is spiritual. It opens your powers. Every single time I bought myself a nice jewelry piece, a nice ring, I'm went up a level in wealth. Like, for real. It matters. And so it really is living as spiritual royalty, like, fully. Like, yes, the jet is spiritual. Why would you fly commercial when you can fly private as a king or queen birthing the new paradigm on our planet? Like, come on. This is the frequency, this is the consciousness. Okay. So I feel complete with this second installment of the series. I love the series. I'm obsessed with it. I am just blessing it with a deep intention and precision to activate you into your next level and break your brain a little bit on what this really means. And if you feel this calling in your soul, specifically, if you are like, I'm ready for the next phase in the wealth that I'm here to steward, let's work together one on one. Go to the link in the show notes, apply for one on one mentorship. I cannot wait to welcome you into this space if we are an aligned fit. We go deep on this. If you want to understand how Scorpio is working in your life, if you want to do the nervous system reset, you know, everything we talked about in this episode, like actually living it in your day to day reality. Here's the thing, all of the talking heads on the TV can talk about a quote unquote bad economy. None of that shit will touch you if you are anchored in high performance and the ancient codes. Creator doesn't have economy. You know what I mean? So if this is you, go to the link in the show notes, apply right now. Honestly, the greatest investment of your resource is investing in yourself and in spaces that can actually get you here. And I will unapologetically say that my clients I've seen consistently at least 5x their revenue in 1 month. Now, if you're relentless and you really follow through and you take a bunch of action, yes. Now, it changes for each person. However, that's literally just status quo results in my world, and it only goes up and up and up and up from there. So if this is you, apply for one-on-one Lux through the link in the show notes. I cannot wait to welcome you into one-on-one mentorship if you feel the call and if we're the correct fit. You can also meet me in France for the VIP Dream Days in July 2026. That's the same application. You're going to apply for one on one, and on the application, you're just going to say, I want to do one of the France VIP days in July, and then I'll be in touch. If you have any questions at all, you can always email me, adrian@adrianschroeder.com, and we will direct you to the correct thing for you. Um, and I believe that is everything I have for you today. I love you. I believe in you. I believe in a new earth. I believe in a better world. I believe in abundance because abundance is real and everything else is a lie. Go out there, be the change, be the light, be the real you. Make a stranger smile. You have no idea what people are going through. You can be the reason they believe in life again. And I will see you next time on A Better World with Adrian.